My favorite thing about my dad is that he wears glasses and it makes him look like a nerd. My dad is really good at cleaning up my messes.
This portion of the Happy House Father's Day Special is brought to you by greatergood.org. Chris, I had the opportunity to travel to Kenya and visit an incredible greenhouse. Do you garden with your boys at all?
I'm not the home gardener.
You're not?
That's not a skill in my repertoire.
So what was really interesting to me about it is the science behind it. It's basically vertical gardening. And then as soon as I got home, I looked up ideas for that. And they basically use recycled plastic bottles. And you, if you don't have a lot of space, can garden up. And I think it's a really cool way to get started gardening with kids.
That sounds awesome.
I'd always heard how hard it is in drought-stricken Africa to grow anything because of the lack of water. The innovative gardening staff at Wildlife Works does things by trial and error. It's really impressive. They're patient and they come up with solutions that really work. Their garden is flourishing.
All our activities in Wildlife Works, I'm sure you have been told, are geared towards conservation of wildlife, that is plants and animals as well. We establish forests and plant trees where there has been degradation and in new areas. We collect approximately 30,000 tree seedlings from the community. We nurture these seedlings until the next rains, the longer rains, which come in November, December. Thereafter, during the rainy season, we distribute it back to the community. We buy from them, but when we distribute, we give it out free of charge. So that way we are contributing to reforestation and afforestation in new areas. The most important thing is to employ the local people. So people have only two resources, that is animals and the trees for burning charcoal. If they were not here, majority of them would be engaged in either of those two at a certain level.
Most people don't realize that probably estimates are something like 80% of Africa's rural population, maybe higher, use charcoal as a fuel or produce charcoal to sell as a product. A sad but interesting fact is that when you see a bag of charcoal on the highway here, which is where it is stored before it's transported up and down in the market, 7 of those sacks represent one 200-year-old tree. So an ancient hardwood tree is rendered down to 7 sacks of charcoal, and the market value of those 7 sacks of charcoal is used to be $20. Now it's probably $40 because the scarcity of the wood to turn into charcoal is increasing the price.
We're at the Wildlife Works greenhouse learning about innovative methods for organic gardening. It's really incredible. Vertical farming is a way to stretch your resources. 3 of these upright containers equals 1 row of plants. That's 24 meters of space in these compact containers.
It is a skill that not everyone can do this very easily. I taught these guys to do it, and now because I have not been doing it, now
They're better?
they're much better. I don't even know.
Isn't that how it goes?
I don't even want to try now.
Lynn, they're growing ginger here. You gotta smell this. It's so good. It's crazy.
Take it home.
It's all about conservation. I'm not taking anything. I am so impressed with everything and how smart they are. And I actually asked him how he learned to do all of these things and what his training was. And like everything Wildlife Works does, it's so collaborative. He said he learned from people along the way. He's been doing this for 25 years. Sometimes he reads things, but basically people, when they find something that works, they share it with him. When he finds something that works, he shares it with others. So it's just such an amazing community here.
Here, give me the ginger again.
It's so
I'm
good.
in heaven.
I know. I don't want to leave this place.